Bill?
All right, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I went to school as far as college, and I made it through high school, and still doing the right thing, just still being in that young mindset. I still kind of got swayed away into the life that what we believe, you know, from the media, the stuff we see in our environment, that we think that this is the way. And as far as I can say through my comments, it's been good and it's been bad. As far as some people say, well, how do you go through school and you've been in the game? And a lot of people get confused, and you know, a lot of people think it's all bad, but it's just not as bad. You know, it's good people still in that, but it's still bad things that happen, and that's through ignorance. You know, and I can say through their comments, I made it through. You know, I could have been doing a lot of time. I could have been dead, but you know, I'm still here, and I'm very blessed to be here. You know. And I'm 31 years old. You know, I have 2 sons and a daughter. And I try to tell them every day, you know, the things you see on TV, the internet, Facebook, all that, it's not what it seems. You know, it's an illusion. It's an illusion, and it's really hard for, you know, young people to get through that illusion. And that's pretty much what I can say about myself with that illusion. You know, it's crazy. You know, it can sweep you up. It can really sweep you up. Cause I got swept up in it. You know, and it just took time through growing to where, you know, you change. And see, a lot of people get confused that, you know, changing and growing is 2 different things. And you know, I like to just leave off right there.
Mr. Harris, why don't you give us some information in reference to your situation?
My name is Dwayne Harris. I'm from South Central Los Angeles, and I'm a former gang member, former gang leader. I have 2 sons that was murdered in Los Angeles, and it's a shame that that our kids are killing with no remorse. You know, like my brother said, it's illusion, it's ignorance, but it's that our system and stuff don't teach them. We don't have enough means to really teach these young guys how to be men. You know, they're misled, misrepresent, and it's hard to get them to stop selling these drugs and stuff when McDonald's won't hire them. And we keep saying you need to stop doing this and stop doing that, but we ain't trying to show them what they need to do, or take the time out to really understand what they're going through. You know, see, we done lost the whole concept of our community and our black people and our young people, man. They don't know how to respect the older people, and then the older people don't know how to respect the younger people.
Very good. And of course, let's take Ms. Greenlee this first commercial break, and then we'll get back and we'll have Ms. Greenlee to start us off for this 8-minute segment. And we'll be back with our audience following this short commercial break. Thank you, and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Ms. Greenlee, Mr. Harris, and Mr. Bell, 3 members of the audience, of the panel, who have had some tragedies in their lives. And Ms. Greenlee thought that they could pull this organization together and call it Save Our Sons, in recognition to the fact that some of them have lost children to the violence that we face today. Let's talk about it from that perspective, Ms. Greenlee.
Yes, Dr. Haney, you know, for a long time, everybody know me as the program I also have called Moms, Mothers Over Murder. I've always had mothers and grandmothers and aunties and sisters crying. And me, the mother of a murdered son, myself, Rodriguez Greenlee, 2003, I really felt lost that I didn't have the father to stand here with me, because he had a loss too. This is the first time ever that I've had 2 fathers to stand here with me and talk about what this means to them as a father of a murdered son. If we don't get to the point of saying, what can we do about it instead of the pointing the fingers and the blaming, then we're not ever going to find a solution to this. You know, I sit here also with you this morning because I want to say March the 23rd, which will be coming up the following Monday, would mark a year for me burying my 18-year-old nephew. And then I lost an 18-year-old grandson all in 1 year last year. So this is really came to a point in my life where I got to keep speaking up as a female, being out in the trenches and also knocking on doors saying, help me, so we can guide our youth. This is what I'm talking about. I need the fathers to stand up and to help me guide our youth. These young men need to hear from the mother and the grandmother, but they need to be led by the father and the grandfathers. And so I have a plea that I'm asking all fathers, listen to these two daddies up here and this young man that's just now becoming a father, and here they plead to come out and stand with us, because it's about us guiding these young people, not pointing our fingers at them.
Very good. Now, Mr. Harris, what's your story?
Well, like we were speaking of, I lost 2 sons. They both was murdered. And it's so hard to forgive. You never forget. But then when I abolished my lifestyle, I try to learn to forgive, but also it's hard for the kids in the street to forgive different situations, different scenarios that happen, you know, the tragedy they go through. So as men and as black men, we got to learn how to teach our youngs to, even when you experience different tragedies or different things, you have to have someone there to be for. The mans need to learn how to teach the young boys to be a man. We need the women to teach the young girls how to be a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not easy. It's not easy for me. Sitting here, it's hard. For me to say I really forgave the people that killed my sons would be a lie. But and through the tragedy and everything, I'm learning. So this is what we got. It's all a learning process. I'm new to this, but I'm willing to give it 100%. Thanks to Ms. Greenlee, I understand my calling. And this is what I'm here for, to try to teach my young men a better life, a better lifestyle. You know, you're responsible for your own choices, you know, but if you have somebody to help you with them choices, it's 100% better.
And so you lost 2 children to gun violence in California.
They was murdered, yes.
Actually murdered. You don't want to make it sound like a nice, sanitized kind of thing. It was
no, they were slaughtered in the street.
Slaughtered in the streets of California.
It hurts. 2007 Father's Day. April the 3rd, 2003.
Young children?
15, both was murdered at 15 years old. Never experienced life, you know, never understood life. But see, that's what we go through when we being misled in these streets, and as young kids, we not really knowing what we're doing. We taking up on diabolical things that we doing. We hurting our mothers, our fathers, you know, we're hurting our loved ones. And it's no one there really to teach them a better lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And that's what my hope in this program here will be able to reach out and touch them.
Because you didn't have boot camp and all that.
No, we didn't have none of that growing up. All that's abolished, you know, from us when we tried to reach out. There wasn't no program like Ms. Greenleaf has, you know, Nazareth Peacemaker. Wasn't none of that around for us. But in the other community it was, not in the black community.
Mm-hmm. And so, Mr. Bell, you're trying to prevent situations like this from happening to your children. Is that what are you telling them now, Mr. Bell?
Yes, very well. I don't want my sons to be victims of that, and every day I do my best to be there for them. And by me being there, you know, I try to have a structured lifestyle, you know, go to work, try to come home, help them with their homework, be in tune with them, instead of me just being out doing the stuff I used to do, you know, being caught up in that lifestyle. And I want them to be better men, and by them being better men, I try to tell them, you know, don't do it like this. Don't listen to your buddies at school. You know, come talk to me because I've been there and done that. And you know, a lot of youngsters think, oh, you you really don't know. No, you don't know. Mm-hmm. You see, I've been there, and you know, and it's hard when when I was gone, being, you know, locked up for a period of time, you know, they asked me like, where were you at? And I had to tell them I was on a job run or something like that. And I don't want to have to go back and do that. You know, it hurts talking, you know, to my daughter, you know, and my son through a glass. And, you know, I don't want them being that, you know, because it was one time, you know, I cried on my bunk, you know, I said, my children should not go through this, you know, and that's all from being just misled with the choices, you know, because, you know, when you're young, you don't know no better. It's the worst experience, you know, if you don't have nobody there and the proper love to reach out to show you instead of just beating you down, not giving you no hope, not giving you nothing to grab on. So, you know, you really have to give them something to, hey, I got something to live for. I see the light, you know, somebody's there.
Okay, and so Ms. Greenlee, in a real sense, the men play a significant role. That's what you were saying over the last minute that we have here. Play a significant role, and as long as we can hear their stories, and I think that these two gentlemen, both Mr. Harris as well as Mr. Bill have real stories. Him talking about his incarceration and looking through the glass at his relatives and picking up the telephone on one side and then on the other side. That's some of the things that you don't want your children to go through.
No.
And had you been able to perhaps save your children, Mr. Harris, you probably would have done something different than what you've done. And so that's essentially what we want to talk about as we come down to this final segment. I mean, the final few minutes of this particular segment, and we appreciate the two of you giving us that information. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.